Consequences of taking an idea from God into my own hands. I've been trying to figure out for days how to do this podcast in this specific episode, but I'm just going to share. All right, so welcome to the God podcast and the final episode of about me distrusting God with the vision that he gave me and trying to fulfill it on my own. So for years, I've been saying, I've been a street counselor. I've been helping people since middle school. And it was always part of who I am. Part of wanting to help and have a purpose, have meaning, and love that since I didn't have a hold on to anything else in my life, not even religion, Christianity at that time, being a preacher's daughter. So even though I may have felt crappy about myself, I felt good when helping others. At 14, I wasn't thinking about how much money can I make from doing this? How much can I charge from talking to a person and giving them sound advice? Shut the door. That's right. Shut the door and go watch the movie. If you're going to say something, speak. Okay, shut the door. You silly. Thank you. And none of that didn't click in my head, until I got older and became a mother. And I started with my first son in 2011, Alan. He worked the night shift at PayPal, 11 to 8 a.m. or the afternoon to 11 p.m. I'm trying to think, because when I went into labor, it was late and he wasn't at work. He wasn't at home. He was getting off work. I'm like, here, get home. I'm in labor. So he worked the late shift. And then we had more babies and I wanted him home more. I loved being a stay-at-home mom. At the same time, I wanted my children to have more time with him too. So I was like, you know what? God gave me all these gifts. I'm so good at so many things. How can I turn what I do into money and help retire my husband? And I got into network marketing things. Realized that didn't work for me because I don't like the idea of just selling you something just so I can get paid. I don't like the idea of trying to make something out to be a big thing when it's really not that big of a thing to you right now. And if I see that what I'm selling ain't gonna really help you, then I'm not gonna try and force what I sell on you. I'm gonna send you to somebody else. Because that's just how I am. I want what's best for you. And if that means not buying from me, then that's what it be. Right? And then I realized network marketing, that didn't work a lot because I don't like referring people forcefully. I don't like doing it. And then when it comes to online industry, coaching, all things like that, and learning it, it seems so cool. Hey, everybody can do it. Just take what you love. Be a creator. Turn your story into money. Share what you do. And I would go to so many masterminds. I went to so many inner circle workshops, seminars. Come listen to how we got started, what I did. And here's a little bit what can help you. But then if you really want some really help to really get where I'm at, pay hundreds to thousands of dollars to get there with our help. And I'm like, I don't got that right now. How is that? That's not helping me right now. And then saying, if you don't got, then you really don't want it as bad, or you don't need it hard. You don't want it as hard as you want. You got to make a personal investment into you, which in reality is actually an investment into you and your business to help me. It's not really investing in me. It's investing in you to help me. And just the games and the cycle of that. I did a post. I've now become that person who scrolls past all your introduction and stuff on your landing pages and funnels so I can just get to the part of how much is this going to cost me. I'm there right now because I've already been to all the masterminds. They're all the same. I've already been to all the webinars and stuff. They're all the same. I was like, God, if I ever get on this journey again, when I got back online, I don't want to become that person. I don't want to become that coach. I don't want to become that person who builds a bunch of landing pages and funnels to get you and tag you in. I don't want to become that person that tells you so much about your pain, what your struggles, and what you're going through. You already know what you're going through. I already knew what I was going through, which is why I am here. Which is why you're here listening. I don't need you to remind me of my pain. I just want you to tell me, what have you got to help my pain? I heard something that said, when you're selling to people, or when you're sharing how you can help somebody, you stay 80% in their sadness. You stay 80% in the problem, and then only talk about 20% of the result of how you can help them. And that's psychology. People make so many rash decisions when they're feeling sad and angry. Look at our society now. And I don't want to do that. But unfortunately, that's the route I took. I didn't know it at the time. And instead of trusting God and waiting on Him and what He wanted me to do, I took the route and spent hundreds of dollars on webinars, on coaching programs, time and energy with other people who said, hey, we can help you. Just do this for us first. And then when it was my turn, there was nothing. Or when my turn came, like, oh, and then when it was my turn, like, this is taking too long. I'm going to go off and do it my own. Or, hey, we did it. We just wanted to show you, haha, that we did it. You should have stayed. So, when I first watched the movie Wish, the message that God got me, that I got, is this is what I did to God. If you don't like movies being told to you in spoilers, and watch the movie Wish, then come back or pause right now. I got a wish. A wish is basically a passion, a dream, a desire. The most thing that your heart's desire, basically, in the movie. And they gave it away to this king, because this king who knew that dreams can be destroyed, and he learned all the magic in the world so that he can save his own dreams and learn how to save the dreams of others and grant them. That's like this online industry. They learn a system, or they learn something for themselves, and now they sell it as a system so other people can learn it too. So people will either give up their heart's desire and dream to follow them and do exactly the same way that they do it in order to make it. Like, I had my 5 stages of ascension, my books, all my programs, and I wanted to make it big, so I tried to follow the way that they said that they did it, and it didn't work for me because it was deceitful. And I realized that I gave up my dream. I stopped distrusting God. I give up the ideas and the vision that God gave to me to somebody else. I committed highway robbery against God by saying, hey, God, you were worthy enough to give me this vision, but you're too slow and not worthy enough to see me through it, to see me accomplish it. So I spent years trying to complete on my own. There was a time that I thought it was God, writing a book with a famous speaker, and I ended up being scammed out of $5,000. I got a book out of it and a book cover that I still have, and I'm just sitting on it because I don't know what to do with it, and I was so ashamed about it. I was like, do I sell it or just charge $1, just keep it for free? It's just a reminder of another failure for me. It was just a reminder of saying, hey, when I finally got the courage and bravery to speak life and stuff about, go drink that in another room. To speak life about myself, to be the angel that I was to everybody else, I finally got my reward, my consequence, which is scammed out of $5,000, and that just brought my confidence level down after I built it back up. I got off the internet, social media. I went cold turkey on social media. No Instagram, no LinkedIn, no Facebook, no none of that in 2021 when I got pregnant with my other daughter, because mentally I couldn't handle it anymore. I couldn't take, and I was so jealous and envious of everybody else who's making it and doing it big and marketing right and doing all this stuff with the same niche or things that I was doing, but I was sitting here struggling while still being a straight counselor, being happy with that, but I wanted it to translate over to currency. And I was like, I can't have this. So cold turkey 2021, so I could focus back on my health and my new baby and my family. And we went through homelessness at that time too, y'all. I was right after I had my baby, we went straight to a hotel and just hotel hopping. Our family helped us some days that they could, but that's 8 of us now, and that's a lot. Like, I don't want to put that on anybody, but our family helped us with hotel stays. I'm very thankful for that until we were able to get the apartment we're in now. It's a cool 2-bedroom apartment. Our children got the biggest room, and it's a blessing. I'm very thankful for it. But I got to the point where I started to feel unbalanced again because I was doing all my mommying and wifing, but I still wasn't fulfilling my purpose. I was still being my street counselor, but I knew that God had called me for more, to do more. But I was running away from more because I didn't want to be accountable to other people, because I knew that I was still working on me. I was still, especially when it comes to my parenting and parenting program, there were still things that I was working on and still am working on as a parent. Even what God has given me and I'm following it, I was like, God, I don't want to be put in that position. I don't want to be a leader. I don't want to be it, because I don't want to be put there. I don't want to be people seeing me and then see if I mess up and say, oh, you messed up, you messed up, your stuff must not work, and da. Like, I've seen that, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna stay over here. I'm just gonna stay in my little box. But me staying in my little box wasn't working for me personally, emotionally, mentally, financially, and most importantly, spiritually, because even though God was working on me, God knew that.
There's only this much left.
Okay.
Honestly.
Okay. God was calling me to do in me more, even with how I am. And get out. Can you go what?
Can I sit down?
Yeah, shut my door. But I was running away from it. I was running away from the responsibility, from my calling. It is, Rain, get out the blinds. Thank you. And you said you wanted to come in here and sit down, so sit down. Do what you say you're going to do. If not, then leave the room, honey. Okay? Thank you. So watching the movie Wish, I realized, okay, so I gave up my dream, stop saying dream, I gave up the idea God gave me, and it turned into a vision to somebody else to help make it come true. And that's what the people did. They gave up the pursuit of their vision, of the idea, to this king who doesn't guarantee granting it, and only holds a wishing ceremony, a wish granting ceremony once a year. So all these people, they say when you give your wish, you forget without regrets. You give and forget without regrets, because you don't remember what you had. So there's no need to regret it, because once you give up the idea and that vision God gave you, then you don't need to regret it because you can't remember. And I didn't have that luxury. I remembered everything. I remember everything God told me and God gave me. So there's me. There's a character, Saba, who's 100 years old and it still hasn't had his wish granted. But on the day of his 100th birthday, he was hoping that maybe it was his time. Like, you ever felt like it was your time? And you felt it, and then when you thought it was your time, it passes you by. That's what happened to him. And every time I feel like it's my time, before it was my time, it went past me. And I realized one of the problems that I had was that I was waiting for somebody else to make me famous, or to make my stuff work, or to launch my program, or to teach me, or to give me the opportunity, or to give me the stage. I was always trying to get on somebody else's stage, or in somebody else's light. Not somebody else's light, but on somebody else's radar. Try to get them to notice me, like, hey, I'm worthy too, just like you. When the truth is, I didn't need that. God has already made me and credited me worthy. My degree is from heaven. My degree is from the Most High. I am licensed. I am certified by God. And that was a lesson that was difficult for me to accept and to hold and stand on, because sometimes I don't hold no weight here in this world. There's hold no weight in this industry. You're like, oh, you need resumes and testimonies and reviews. And when I would try to do all that, ask people, nothing. And those who did, I'm so thankful and I use them. I really do. But few doesn't seem like it's always enough. And saying too, I was talking and attracting the wrong people, or talking to the wrong people in the wrong way. I was trying to be like everybody else. I was trying to be like how they say that you should be and only give a little bit and save the most for yourself. Actually, I was opposite. I gave it all because that's who I am. Like, I don't want to just give you, I don't want you online, honey. I want you on the internet. I don't want to just give you just a little bit to tease you and give you a little satisfaction. If I'm going to help you, I'm going to help you 100%. I'm going to give it all to you. That's why whenever I teach or do my videos or podcasts or anything like that, when I talk to you, if any of my lessons or teachings from my 5 stages of ascension apply, I'll share that with you, because I care about the person, the human being. You, the real money, not the paper. Because I know God always provides and brings it back in a different way, shape, or form. Money always comes back. And these things would feel so good, and I would remember it. And then I'd get distracted again when I get on social media and start scrolling and see the ads. Watching Wish realized that when I gave myself up, I became an addict. I was addicted to coaching programs, y'all. I gave myself up to them. When I did that, I robbed myself of my journey and my partnership with God. Let me say that again. When I turned to coaching, industry, online programs, webinars, and masterminds, I was an addict and gave up myself. I gave up my journey and my partnership with God to them, to man. And that's not how it's supposed to be. That's not how none of this is supposed to be. That's why I don't ever say that I empower people. I use the word empowerment because I know it's a trigger word and people like it and it sounds pretty. But the truth is, God is the only one that has empowered us from the get-go, from conception. All humans do is help you remember that you've been empowered and provide you with certain information, opportunities in their specific area or industry that they're good at to help you use your power to be good in it too. You want to learn more about investment? You want to be empowered financially? So you go to somebody to teach you how to invest. You've already been empowered, which was able to take you to that person. They just showed you and gave the information how to do it. Stuff like that. Also things like people, something I see on Instagram. They say, hey, I know some things that can help you be better and get more followers. You just got to do this and this and that. When it's natural settings in your profile. But they can seem like they're the ones that made it up and discovered it. It's just these deceitful tactics and marketing and advertising and sharing as like this. It's psychology. And I know psychology. I know I can say the right words or certain things to trigger you if I wanted to get you to buy something or to book. But I don't want to do that. I choose not to because one, it doesn't feel right. For two, it's a manipulation. And three, I would love and want people to choose and make their best choices from a happy place, from a grateful place, from a cheerful giving place. Like that verse says, God loves a cheerful giver, or give with a cheerful heart, whatever that is. Because when you think with cheerfulness and gratefulness before you make a decision, you're going to make a different one. Because you're looking at your situation and yourself from a different perspective. Not as in lacking, but as already having and getting and being provided for and gratefulness. It's all right. He can come back in. Thank you. Thank you, sweetie. He was already in here. Thank you. High five. Yes.
Can I get some tablet time too?
You have to talk to Dad because Dad gave them that tablet time. But go ahead, Amra.
Me too.
You already had your tablet time.
I did.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Are you ready for nap time? Yeah? Okay. So my daughter wants a nap, which means breastfeeding time. So I'm going to be moving my phone around, up, down, over, so y'all don't see my breast. Natural, gifted action that God has given us women. Hey, don't. I don't want you in the video. Stop. Stop it. Thank you. All right. Hold on. Hold on. So, I'm getting the blanket. All right. All right, come here. Don't kick me. Come on. Come on. Yeah, get underneath the blanket, though, okay? Lay down. Okay. There you go. Thanks for your patience. So, that, like that's me. Like, I've learned to not just understand, which means stand over. No, I understand inside. I overstand it too. And I have an exo standing over it. And about that. Because I teach my children psychology every day. And it's also I teach it when it comes to learning how to connect and communicate with people. It's all psychology. It really is. This whole system is psychology. Selling is psychology. But anywho, so I robbed myself. Here, honey. I robbed myself of the journey. And that's what the people did when they give up their wishes to the king. They robbed themselves. Back. We robbed ourselves of the strength, of the perseverance, of knowing who we are, knowing our gifts, and knowing our talents, and knowing how good God is when we take the easy way, or when we trust, not interest because trust inside, when we depend and go to somebody else who we think has the answers and can do it better than God. And that's what I did for years. It got so bad that Alan said he recognized a pattern in me. And he was so right. He was so right. He was like, he kept saying to me, it's like I keep watching the same movie. Because like I say that I'm going to stick to something, like I'm going to stick to writing my books, and I do good. And then I start singing ads again, but hey, if you want to do this, or if you're an author, you want to do this and this and this and that. And I'm like, oh, I do want to do that and that. And then I got distracted. Owie, Autumn, don't do that. So, it was, once again, because it's a choice. It's all about choices. I chose to be corrected by God. I was like, God, this is what I did before. I see it. I wronged. I sinned. Forgive me. One day I would like to do it again. And this time when I do, I'm going to do it the right way. I'm going to do it 100% with you. Where are you going? Are you all done? Would you like me to open the door for you?
No.
Hey, are you going to open the door yourself? You going to do it your way? Okay, get the door open. There you go. Keep doing it. You're almost there. Say, I got this.
Yeah.
Do it your way.
I tried to.
Okay, so what's your other way that you can do it?
But
Hi. Say thank you. All right. You shut my door. Shut my door. No, you already had your tablet time. No. Dad said no more tablet time for y'all. No. Shut my door. She's funny. Before she was learning how to open the door, my daughter, she just turned 3, but when she was 2, she would try to open the doorknob, and I was like, "Do you want some help?" And she was like, "No, I got it." So her way was to knock on it, and that was her way for her brothers and sisters to open up the door for her. I was like, "Oh, okay now." Look at you with your way. Yes, you do got it. And that's the thing. Everybody has their own way. And it's supposed to be that way. God gave a plan, a path, a purpose inside of each of us. And though it may look different, it may look harder to some or easier to some based on what your perception is, but it may not be that to the other person. But the point is, that's the way that God has for them. And it's okay as long as they get to their destination. As long as I get to my destination, I'd be happy for you, you'd be happy for me. And then when it comes to pricing, high ticket this, high ticket that. I had a problem with that because I'm like, who am I to restrict what God has gave me? It's not even my knowledge or wisdom. Like all the stuff in these books. It's the same information passed down. Same information passed down. And then sometimes new things pass within it to that person. But it's the same. Same. It's just the same information of God in the universe. Who the heck are we to put a price tag on that? Who we have the audacity to charge for God. Y'all. These are things that are in my head and I was going through when it comes to pricing because I used to struggle with putting a price tag on my stuff because I fought with that. It was like a constant battle. Watch this video. High ticket. Charge this. Angelica, no. Lower cost. You're for everybody. Like just back and forth. And mentally, I felt like I was being torn apart. I was going against myself. I was feeling so tired. It affected my parenting too. And I had to get a break from that. And I was like, God, what do I do with this? I had to point and realize, wait a minute, when it comes to currency, it ain't even ever gonna be worth me. Because the dollar don't mean nothing. The dollar has no value. It only has the value that humans think that it has. But once humans stop believing in the dollar, you can burn that stuff up and nobody would care. Because the original money is people. Like when you go into work and you clock in your time clock on your computer or at the card back in the day. What were you really or who were you really clocking in? You, me. Time is money. I am time and I am money. So Angelica is Angelica. Angelica is money. Time is Angelica. Whew. So I was like, God, I'm going to need help with that one too when I come back. And thankfully, He has helped me. Thankfully now, instead of trying to get on somebody else's stage, God has helped me to create my own stage. While at the same time, always also helping me and working me to help create stages for others. So that they can also learn how to make their own stages. It's supposed to be about giving and receiving. Helping others so that others can eat too. So that everybody can eat. You know? I was like, man, God, so many people they have the same mindset where everybody eats. So I was beginning to watch Wish and all this, right? And then watching myself do what I do, and then watch people take my stuff and not give me credit. That hurt too. I still see it. But it's a reminder like, oh, it's that good though. And then I'm glad that they have the skills and the manipulation and psychology to make it better to where it sounds better to other folks so that they get it. Because, hey, it's that saying, the same message can be delivered multiple times to the same person from different messengers, and all it takes is one, or maybe two or three. And finally realizing who I am. At the end is a song called "You're a Star," where the main character learns that she's actually a star. And she lets other people know in her city that they're stars too. And I already kind of knew that because God started giving me descriptions about, hey, you're a star, shine, you know. And this wisdom was already coming to me. I was just rushing, like, oh, something else. Instead of taking the time to stop and sit in it, because I wanted to move fast, get things done fast. So taking time to stop and sit in the information that God is giving me, and also help me to realize that's for me first before I start sharing. Let me have a greater understanding than to understanding than an overstanding, so I can share better and teach it better. And I'm like, I'm a star too. I'm a star. Other people, we are all stars. We are the true stars of our lives. We have been given our own stages to shine on, and that's our life. The world has us tricked in thinking that the real only stars are the ones on the TV screen or on the sidewalks of Hollywood. But I learned that everything that man does is just a replica of what God has created. They're just clones to try and be like God and try to also distract us from who we really are and the powers that are really in us and what we're really capable of. In order to do that, first, you gotta take over our minds. Because if you're thinking trash, you're gonna speak trash and you're gonna act like trash. Then you're gonna pass that down to the next generation. So I came to the realization that I'm a star. I'm already worthy. And I am money. And I already knew that. But somehow I still thought and believed that it wasn't enough until I got myself involved with another program, another person who helped me to remember that I didn't have a problem. I thought I did, but being around you and seeing how you do it, I realized I don't really have a problem. I just thought I did. I still thought I was the problem. I still thought who I am and how God created me was a problem. But once I really realized it, and realized how much people come after me, how much people try to change me and attack me and put these things on me and then take and then not credit, like how much I realized how much I've done, like I had to stop and I wanted to make a resume for all the things that I've done for to do like a partner with this organization for workshops and stuff. So I made I had 4 different resumes. Because I had one for my poetry, one for my writing, one for my speaking, and then one for something else. So 3 or 4. But it was more than one resume because all the things I did could not fit on that one resume. And it was all for different categories. Oh yeah, one for speaking, one for poetry, one for writing, and one for parenting. I had 4 different resumes. And I'm like, I've done a lot of stuff. I gotta stop and look at myself and be like, wow, Angelica, you've done a lot. And you have not stopped and given yourself enough credit, celebrated yourself enough for it. None of that. To really stuck. Which is why I tell people whatever accomplishment that you do or win, whether big or small, celebrate that. Celebrate it so that you can remember inside and out that you accomplished something, that you're succeeded, that you're growing and transforming and changing. And it's working and you're working and it's good enough and you're good enough and you're doing it. And because those will be reminders, will be motivators in times like this. And also sometimes somebody tries to say, hey, you're not doing it right. Or you just like, no, I'm good. I got that. I got that. I got that. I got that. Hey, why don't y'all bring me some tissue? Sorry, and I said at the same time for the snot, y'all. Yeah. And I was like, wow. And I've just been waiting for somebody else to see that too about me and be like, wow. I mean, I know they did in areas. I was like very thankful, but I feel like more should have been said and done to get me farther. Oh, they're watching that movie. So I'm gonna go get it myself. But that was one of my problems. Like waiting on somebody else to do it for me. And yeah. I'll blow my nose later because I sound like an elephant. I really do. My children love it all the time. They're like, Mom! It's fun. But yeah. So finally learning and accepting and knowing who I am and my true value and worth. It's not in the green of the paper. It's not in currency. It's not in how many programs I have. It's not how many testimonials or reviews that I have. It's not in the likes and the follows. My worth is in God. And people know, like, the system, the higher people in these coaching industries and online industries, they know how powerful, just like in the movie, how powerful wishes are and goals are and dreams are. Because people will do, I would do anything from it to get help to accomplish it. I mean, if I could, I would have spent so much more money, but thank God I had Alan. Thank God. Because some people be like, hey, is there anybody that you can borrow money from? Or can you get a line of credit? I'm like, you want me to go into debt and borrow? You want me to become the lender instead of